My name is Nur Aini Rahmawati. I am an associate professor of Department Information System Department and also vice chair of Halal Center Institut Teknologi 10 November Surabaya, Indonesia. Okay, so I'm started my PhD with data, especially in linked data, and then I focus on distributed data. Then when I came back from my PhD, I established a system which is calling open data. So we focus on how produce graph for the halal product, which is more people can consume the data and also makes this data is more readable for the machine readable. And for at that time, in the time being, the data is growing up. I mean, there is a huge amount because we will integrate. We have been integrate a lot of data set. The initial stage, we only obtain the data from the Indonesia halal product. This is from Majelis Ulama Muslim in Indonesia. But after that, we think that Muslim is not only in Indonesia, but from around the world. So we integrate, we crawl the data from halal certification bodies around the world. So right now already seven organizations. And then we think that how we come up with this data, we not only produce the data and make it possible to people to collect the data from us and do some things awesome from this data, but we think that we need to more analyze what is the inside of the data. So, and then at 2 years ago, in 2018, I found the Neo4j. And then Neo4j already provide cool things such as like the algorithms, especially for the graph. And then we think that we can make something different. It's not only usually when we create algorithms from over the graph data, it's not integrated all the things. Like in Neo4j, they have Bloom for visualization, and then we can see it's just a bit of cheaper language, so we can see all the data inside of the data. So that's the cool about the Neo4j that I found. In our department, we have the database technology course for the undergraduate student and for the postgraduate students. In that course, we have a lot of outline for the student that they have to have capability to learn about NoSQL databases, not only RDBMS database. So we learn about the column key database, the document database, and so on, and also graph database. As you know, that the famous graph database right now is Neo4j. So I encourage them to learn Neo4j, and during the course, I think that it's not. I don't want only make this course especially in one meeting. So I think that we can also ask the people to join with us to know what is the emerging technology in databases, especially in NoSQL. So, and then I saw that the Neo4j have event that called the Graph Day in 2019. So I apply for that, especially because I think that if the students when I see there is a t-shirt and anything, so I think that's good for my students and the people to coming. And okay, then we organize that event with my students. In that event, we talk about how use the Neo4j to analyze the general election in Indonesia, especially for legislative candidate. What is cool about things, because we think that we would like to detect the community between the candidate. We think that the candidate could be have strong leadership between, especially for the family or for the when they born or anything. So, and then we also publish it in the YouTube and in the social media, and that's some people coming not only from my students, so that's good things for the event. So, and then we would like to expose what we do in television as well. I mean, for the local television, but what is our findings? Use the Neo4j. Yeah. Okay, so the favorite part, especially because I'm a lecturer, the favorite things is there is the free certificate. So I mean, if you take the certificate in 4G is free, so I encourage my students to get this certificate. So it will be useful for them to get the job, especially in databases. And the second thing is the awesome things about Neo4j is how these databases provide new algorithm, especially in the emerging new algorithm. For example, 2 years ago, they start about the graph embedding, but right now in the Neo4j, the last Node.js developer for Neo4j, there's already support the graph embedding. So there's a lot of algorithm already supported, so, and also the algorithm, if I mean your data, you just click it, even you don't know about the C language, for example, so you just click it and then you find something. I mean, not only you have to type first, but you can use the visualization of the Neo4j. You can find the connection relationship between the nodes and between the nodes and the relation and the properties. So it's easy to use. It's not you don't need to. I mean, for novice user, I think is great, and also this provide the sandbox. I think because somehow our computer is not reliable enough to execute a lot of database. Okay, so right now we started use the Neo4j for graph embedding as well. It's not only to make an entity resolution between the halal product, and then also we use this entity resolution for increasing the value for an entity, so we can make a useful for the search engine as well. So the cool thing right now, now the graph not only use analyze for, like for example, for the detection communities or detection of centrality to calculate the centrality, but also now we can use that for the big data, especially like it can be the input for the machine learning, or we can put for the deep learning. So it's not only us itself. I mean, usually it's difficult for us how we can use this graph to process to another artificial intelligence. But right now, more people especially in the graph database already support it. So that's cool about the technology right now.